Hello everybody, I hope you all had a lovely Christmas, and as you know, or hope you know, my model railway is not on the table over Christmas. I need it to eat my Christmas, or I needed it for my Christmas dinner yesterday, or the day before. No, the day before. Oh, it's a haze. So what you see before you are some of the elements of my layout. I think having a model railway or a train set, in my case, it does make you think. It does make you look at things and think, how can I do this and how can I do that? And if you can't think how to do it, there's always the YouTube community to help you. However, I have learned some things from the YouTube community. Budget Model Railways did put me on to 3DF, a company I believe based in Canada now, who, albeit they don't send you the printed thing, but they send you a program that you can print them yourselves. So you make that. This is made out from a very quite a well-known beer box that I quite like their product and have one every day with my dinner. So this was a free download to literally give you a sample of what 3DA do. Actually I think it's 3DF, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, whatever. So there's that. And then I like that so much that I did actually buy one of their actually printed out, the models that you print out yourself again, which is my station waiting room canopy, and I think it looks quite nice. You get nearly everything you need. You get the posters, you get all the bits, and it's literally made out of paper. I think they recommend sort of 1mm card, 2mm card, but I just used my beer boxes or my cornflake packets or whatever and made that up. It does take quite a long time, and in fact the inside is quite detailed. I can't actually show you, I don't think, but yes, it is quite detailed. Anyway, if I show you a picture of my layout, here is the station that I built, obviously with track both sides, and tapering this end where a point comes. And here is our building, our 3DF building that sits on it, and obviously the signs. You will see the big platform at the front needs to fit between these two curved tracks. Now you obviously are never going to buy anything that would fit there. So I made this, and again this is literally a scratch built item. Again, I'm not really advertising of course, but it was literally made out of a box with my beers in, after I'd obviously drunk the beers. And it's glued with card glue. Obviously you need to work out the size. The brick facing there and the top of the platform, I literally just scanned a piece of picture, and in the case of the top I scanned a piece of the Hornby platform and just printed it out on my printer. The edging is basically white paper, cut to size and sucked round, and then went round with a ruler just doing a straight line. So that's all I did. The little signs, Valentine Junction, matchsticks, a piece of card and a printed out piece of paper with those printed on. And that's all it is. And then the black is literally felt tip pen, just black felt tip pen. and then I just ease the matchstick at the bottom to go into the hole, and then there's a little shoulder on there so that it stops where you want it to go, well, within reason. If you've seen some of my videos, they do look a bit wonky sometimes because they can literally wobble, as you can see. But it works, and obviously I didn't make the people, they're Backman people, and the various other bits are just bought items. The little trolley with the man on it came with the Hornby platform set that I bought. So that's that one. This is the little platform, the curved bit that I showed you, part of it. And obviously there and there are the little subways that I inserted in, Metcalfe kit. And obviously the Hornby footbridge now goes over it, so there's two ways of escape. When the trains don't run, you can get off the station, as it is at the moment. Now this is part of my Hornby platform, which I'm sure you'll recognise. I have stuck some brick on it, but what you might not recognise is the little subway going down in it. Now this is a Metcalfe kit, card kit that you can buy, which are all printed. You don't need to print any of it. And I just made, you get two in the set. Made two of these up and then literally cut it in to the Hornby platform. Hornby obviously do their own subway of such, which I have got one, which you might have seen, but at the time I didn't know that, and this was done when my layout was a bit smaller. Once I increased the length, I could then incorporate Hornby subway. And the reason I did this is, as you can see on the map, it's sort of isolated. It's got track both sides of it. And how do you get there? Difficult, isn't it? Okay, I think you know, I probably now got the footbridge as well, but at the time I didn't have the footbridge, so I did that. So that was that one. So we're getting there. This one here is obviously the Hornby, really the booking office for your platforms that you have. But I had two of these because I bought two sets, and I didn't have a house, so I've made this into a semi-detached little cottage. You know, one side with the stone and the other side with a brick, you know, as sometimes it happens. And I'm quite happy with that. And I've got the little hedge round it, which you can probably sometimes see on the circuit. And that was that. So that was adapting what I wanted. When I finally finished my layout, I had a lot of track that was quite very near to the edge, literally, you know, millimetres away from the edge. And when you're running your HS2, your HS train round at quite a considerable speed, you sort of wonder whether it's going to derail and come off and go plummet into the floor. So I wanted something to make a barrier. I'm not saying it would stop it going on the floor, but it gives you a visual piece of security, shall I say. And this is simply fairly thick paper that I folded. The black is Velcro. It's Velcro tape that you get in a haberdasheries or whatever. And then that goes onto the edge. It literally goes onto the edge of my board. And it holds reasonably well. It does tend to flop down because it's really light, this obviously, but there's still a bit of bossino. So in the end, I used to, because I put a fiddle yard down there, I put these little bits on and they sit on the fiddle yard and they keep it up. And I wanted it up because obviously I wanted to try and hide the fiddle yard a little bit. Again, you can see just glued with tape. some of the, I found that these sometimes came off, and I did actually put some gaffer tape on them. The number 2 is so I know where it goes on the circuit. And you might notice on a lot of them, there's a date on it. This is actually made up of 2 pieces. So you have the initial solid, more thick card, and then, if you can see, I've then stuck with double-sided tape a printout from my printer of a bit of an embankment from a photograph, and that's why there's a date on it. And the little bit of black Velcro you can see there. The idea of this is, hang on a minute, the idea of this, if I can find number 1. So this is number 2, this is number 2, this is number 1. Number 1 goes against the station that I'll show you in a moment, and number 2 goes against it, and I literally, remember, that will be fixed to the edge of the thing, and it overlaps, and the Velcro just catches on at the top, and then I put the flap over to hide the Velcro and so forth, and that's all I did, which is why it looks a bit bumpy when you look at it. And the Velcro really holds, it's really hard to get off. I actually use an envelope opener to actually get it off the circuit. This is my attempt to just fill in where I've got my level crossing, my little level crossing. This is what runs it. This obviously clips onto the track, and I wanted to sort of lose seeing through the hole into the fiddle yard, so I did that. I'm not very artistic, I'm afraid. I am probably going to try and get a picture that sort of looks a bit better, but it is quite difficult actually, so I might not manage to do it. We'll see how we go. And I have the little block of wood with it, because that goes up underneath and under this piece here, which goes under the track, and that helps to keep it upright, so that I can put my little Reliant Robin Supervan 3 on it, which I used to own one, funny enough. So that was that bit. This is my corner piece that I made up to go round the corner, because my embankment goes down. This is where the little 08 shunter sits. I needed to take it back a bit so that trains didn't hit it, and it's literally just made up like so, and just that's all folded and glued together, and that just goes on in one piece, and again with the Velcro to connect. So I did that, and then the final part, here you can see the block of flats, the free printout from 3DF with the shops at the bottom, just sitting there, just sits on the circuit. Obviously everything on my layout needs to be able to come off. I can't glue anything down. Anything that needs to be held firmly, like the signals, are screwed with very tiny screws, as are the rails that go across the joints. I don't do like exhibition people do, where they cut right through and then have wires to connect, because I can't do that because it sits on a table. It's not hollow, you know, it's not open underneath for loads of wires. I might do a little video showing you how I connect the points to the decoders and so forth at a later date, when it's not stored away, or as I'm putting it together, probably would be the easiest way. The station and the background that sits on the corner of the layout is the one here that I'm pointing to, there. And as I said, this just clips on, or screws on with 2 screws onto the very corner of the layout, with infills to fill some of the gaps, although not all of them. If you look carefully at some of my videos, you can see right through and see the carpet. Anyway, and as I said, the building is actually this building in a photograph. I'll just slightly adjust my camera for you. Is the station, which I think you can see there. Yeah. Which obviously is the Hornby type. This is right on the very corner of my layout, right next to the cupboard under the stairs, and the fiddle yard goes behind it, and it is literally held on with 2 screws into the baseboard, and the rest of it basically sails over the top. It's not actually on anything solid. So if you look at this side, I pan in nice and slowly. Give the camera a little time to hopefully focus. Maybe not. I have got more light. But you can see there's a little bit of card and greenery there, which fills up the gap. The other end, it does sort of just about go on. So, and I've actually got some card that's actually on the end piece. So that's how I did that. Obviously the people. The actual station building, believe it or not, is not a station building. It's a photograph of my one that you've just seen that I made from the 3DF kit, and I've just literally stuck it onto my back scene, as is all the fencing. The fencing is not fencing, it's actually a picture of the fencing, so I've stuck that all on. And I think I have mentioned about the back scene. It's basically an airfield in the Isle of Wight between Sandown and Shanklin, where I stayed with my good wife in a caravan, and this was literally the other side of the road almost. And I took a Panasonic picture of it. The way I printed it out is I used paint, Microsoft Paint, and just said I want so many, work out the length of your photo, and then you decide how many pages you need it to spread over, and just print it out. And as I said on another one of my videos, I did it in gloss because it's going to be moved about. It's not in one place, you know, it has to be stored and whatever. And this particular piece goes in the conservatory with the main boards and the long backdrop. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will do other ones, but for the time being, I wish you all a happy new year, and here we go, hopefully careering into summer, and it might be a bit warmer. So goodbye for now, and thank you for watching.